Hello everyone, this is Eva and you're with Emma Butin.
Hi.
And you're watching 10 by 10 Lessons with Emma Butin and Eva. So we're on Chapter 4, Pushing the Start Button, Giving the Birth to Your Product. So Emma, on your Chapter 4 of your book, you discussed the importance of go-to-market.
Right.
The first day when the product is released to the public. So can you please explain this further?
Sure. Well, your go-to-market is actually the birth of your product. It is actually the first day that your product goes out there, into the air, into the hands of your new user. That means that when we think about the product in terms of birth, we have to think about the product in terms of the actual first user, not when we have 10,000 users and not when we have 1 million users. The reason is that the product behaves differently when it has 10,000 users, 100,000 users, or when it has the first user. When we think about a product on its first day, it forces us to think about the very important questions, such as why would a user would use the product for the first time? And no cutting corners here. We really have to answer it. What it is that the user gets. Is it an emotional satisfaction? Is it a utility? The next thing that we have to think about is how would a user hear about the product? Where would we launch it? A third thing that we have to think about is what would a product look like on the first day? How many features would it have? And why would it have the features that it would have? That means that your go-to-market forces you to think about your product, answering all of the questions, and cracking down the answer to all of these questions would actually lead you and guide you to the best way of launching your product. And the launch of your product does not end on the first day. It actually continues because at the beginning, every time a new user comes in and uses your product, it is still a new use. So think carefully about the answers to the questions, because the precise answers would lead you to the right way of giving birth to your product.
You also speak about different methods of product launch. Can you please walk us through the different methods?
Here's a little story I want to tell you. A little company in Israel called Butin started off as two founders writing for their pleasure posts about technology and new gadgets. When they got together, they said that they want to be the greatest hub for Israeli startups in Israel. And they all started off with writing posts and blogs and then getting users' feedback saying that they really liked the posts and they really liked what they were writing. So they started writing some more. The rest is that today, Butin is the largest technology newspaper in Israel and has syndicates with other newspapers around the world. This is an example of a silent launch. A silent launch is when you use your product, a very little part of your product, to understand the market. If you're using a lean startup methodology, this falls within this category. That means that you're launching your product to early adopters in a step-by-step manner. This is very important because here you get the user's feedback and you know where to improve and what the product would look like in the next stage. Here's another story of a company called Saluto. Saluto is an Israeli company that launched on the stage of TechCrunch. It was a big and huge launch, and they actually won the TechCrunch award a couple years ago. They were in a closed beta mode for almost a year, and so was I with my first company in Cryon Systems. Closed beta mode says that you're developing a new technology, and that new technology cannot be shown to the world because you're up for launch on a big public stage. So what do? You have to keep it within your company and within a good few friends to test this technology to make sure that it works. Now, there are other services that can help you if you're in a closed beta mode. Services such as Amazon that offers you those little payments to users that can do the test for you, or a company that is called UTest, where they test a lot of the technology for you. And this is really helpful because you don't have the user's feedback, but you still have to test the product before you go and launch it up to the open public. And you really want to make sure that it works. The third type of launch that we have is what I call the Steve Jobs launch. This means that you tested your product in-house with so many people and your budget was so unlimited that you can really go on stage and say, hey, I have the best product the world can see.
From these different methods, how would an entrepreneur know what is the best way for him or her to launch their products?
Choosing one of the three methods is really up to the product and to your personality. It goes hand in hand. If you're using new technology or getting ready for a competition, then you really should use the closed beta method. If you're using a lean startup, or you would like to get your users' feedback first before releasing a great big product, then by definition, you should go for the silent method, a step-by-step method, where you learn from your users, improve it, and then go on to the next stage. If your personality is more of a Steve Jobs personality, then make sure that you have done all the testing that requires to launch a great and perfect product. It's not easy, but it's definitely a wow effect. So make sure that everything is tested to the best of your ability and find the most suitable stage for you.
So we have a question from Rennie Kim with her startup, Rocket East. They offer marketing solution for Asian startups expanding west and Middle Eastern startups heading east. Here are her questions. First, why Israeli startups are finding Asian market attractive besides the population? Second, what would you think is the biggest problem when Israeli startups are trying to expand their market to East Asia?
Well, Ms. Kim, thank you for your questions. When it comes to Israeli startups that want to penetrate the Asian market, I think it's not only because of the population, but also because we view Asia as great early adopters. It seems that Korea, Japan, China seem to like new technologies. They seem to like new solutions, and therefore Israeli startups are eager to penetrate these markets with their new solutions. As to your next question, I think you nailed it with the barriers. I believe that the first one is definitely cultural. Every different part of Asia and every different country has its own way of adopting new products. It's not all the same, even though it's given throughout the internet. So we have to learn the Asian market as a country by country, region by region, cultural aspect. And we have to understand how early adopters treat these new products within their culture. So Ms. Kim, thank you for your startup, Rocket East, to help us and teach us how to go through all of these barriers from Israel all the way through Asia. Thank you.
Thank you for your explanation.
Sure.
So, what will be our fifth session?
Well, the fifth session is about business models and company valuations.
So you can post your questions on this page and Emma will be happy to answer them on our next session.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching. See you next week.
Bye-bye.